Hi, John Bossavari here, talking today about networks. Okay. In particular, we're looking at what a network is, how games use networks, and the differences between LAN and online. Okay. So what is a network? It's a connection between devices, allows for communication and sharing of resources. So devices could be computers, could be phones, tablets, other things, and it's just connecting them so they can communicate with each other, share data and information, which is resources. Okay. How do games use networks? So originally, when games were first sort of coming about, computers and things, and they just originally started using networks. There was some limited multiplayer that could happen over like the internet. Most users were just playing single player because internet connections were expensive, and you could download patches using the internet as well. Some games, right, like Diablo, StarCraft, or others, you could play locally with other people in your house if you're connected to the same network, or you go to your friend's house, take your computer, and you could sort of connect that way. Some games came about that were completely online. Okay, mass multiplayer online. I always forget the name of this one. It drives me nuts. But it was huge. And there's other ones, there's heaps of them now, where basically all the characters are online, you all interact with each other in the one world. And World of Warcraft does the same thing as well. Basically the whole game runs online. This one's just really interesting to note, particularly when you're trying to make your own game and how that can unfold. You look at the amount of money made in the DLC market versus fully packaged games, you can see a bit of a trend happening. So the packaged games, right, like your Call of Duties coming out and all that sort of stuff, they're making less and less money as the years go on. But the money made from downloadable content is going up and up each year. And this can include things, like different skins for characters and items and things like that in the game. And we're seeing a lot of free games come about where you can pay money to get different content, like your skins and things like that. And that's actually making more money now than making a brand new game and releasing that for a set price. So at this rate, it looks like that trend would continue. And so into the future, we might see more games becoming free, or reduced price, so they can make more money through other ways through downloadable content. Okay. Online versus local area network. So online, we're talking about the whole of the internet, right? That's like the biggest network in the world. It goes all over the world. It connects all of the devices around the world together so that we can share information and data around the world. Right, that's the internet, that's online. Okay. Local area network, LAN, that's talking about physically really close together. So think like in your house, you've probably got a local area network where phones, laptops, tablets, TVs all connect to your central router, and they share a network that way. And then from that router, they sort of go out online. But if the connection out to the internet was to not work, they could still connect to each other and talk to each other. So your home is one example. The school is another example, where all the devices inside the school all connect together in a local area network, and then that local area network is then connected online from there. Okay, so it says server, but it's probably better described as a modem. Okay, which would then take you out to the internet. So network hardware, we've got a few pieces of network hardware here. you may have covered this last year, so it might just be a bit of a recap, but we've got the router modem. Okay, so router sort of connects all the devices together in a single network, and then bridges the gap from those devices to another network, right, the internet, okay? And the modem sort of sits between the router and the internet, okay? So the router connects to the modem. I mean, these days they're all in one little box device, usually. But the modem is the part that connects you to the internet, okay? The router is the part that connects all your devices at home together. The modem connects you to the internet. The modem, technically speaking, actually converts analog signal to digital, okay? But as we move forward, that sort of use of a modem may change as everything becomes more digital. Network interface card. This is the piece of hardware inside your computer, okay, that allows your computer to connect to a network, okay? It may be a whole separate card that sits on your motherboard, or it could just be a little chip on your motherboard that you just sort of plug into, okay? Ethernet cable, usually this blue cable, Cat5 cable, that, you know, when you're connecting to a network, you'd plug one end into your computer and one end into like a router or like the network, okay? At the school, you'd probably see these as just like a little faceplate on the wall. There's a little connection that you can sort of plug into if you're using cables, okay? Other option, of course, is Wi-Fi, where it's all wireless. And basically, your computer or your device connects wirelessly from your device to the router modem, okay? At school, you'd see these as little devices on the ceilings of all the classrooms. They then sort of connect from the classrooms to a switch back in the main sort of IT area. Excuse me. For Wi-Fi to work, you need a wireless network interface card, okay? Which pretty much every laptop would come with these days. Or your phones would come with that as well, because you can connect to networks, Wi-Fi networks with your phone these days as well. ISP is your internet service provider. Think Telstra, think Optus. And what that is, you know, you've got your router modem that connects to the internet. What it's actually doing is going from your house down the road to like a Telstra exchange or something like that, and then from there it goes out and connects to the rest of the network, rest of the internet. Okay, so you've got to pay for that connection and for them to be able to give you the connection. Okay, that's your internet service provider. That's the step in the connection to the internet. Okay, cool. So security measures. How do we stop people from, you know, connecting to us and giving us viruses and all this other sort of stuff that exists, all these problems that exist? One thing is a firewall. What a firewall does is it stops, very generally speaking, it stops people on the internet from connecting to your computer and taking control of it. Okay? At an organization like a school, it can also block connections that are going out. So at school, you'll see some websites are blocked. That's the firewall saying, no, you can't go to that website or that server because it's not educational. You don't need to go there. That's what a firewall does. Okay, so it protects you from people trying to hack into your computer, trying to get access to your computer. Called antivirus. The way antivirus works is they keep track of viruses that exist, and then they try and protect your computer from those viruses. Okay? You have to update your antivirus, otherwise you're not protected against the new viruses that exist. Authentication, okay, putting in a username and password. If you don't have one, anyone can grab your laptop and they've got all of your data. Laptop, right, or device, phone, whatever. So you need username, password. On your phone, it might be like a swipe thing or whatever, or a fingerprint. That's the authentication part. Excuse me. You need good password strength. So you don't just use like a really easy to guess password like hello or password. Use a good password, which is a mix of lowercase, uppercase, numbers, different symbols all together, not making like a dictionary word. Okay. Then the security measures. So how data moves over the internet. Well, usually I would draw this, but to keep it a bit tidy, I'm just going to reference this network diagram here. Okay. So this is probably more like a school setup. Okay. You've got computers that then connect into a switch. Right. If you're in a classroom, it would be like a laptop connecting to a several laptops in the classroom connecting to the wireless box that's sitting on the ceiling, which then connects into a switch, probably where the IT is. And then from the switch, it connects to the router. From the router, it connects to the internet service provider, Telstra, Optus, whoever it might be, and then they connect it out to the internet. Right? So if we were at school, we wanted to get to, say, google.com, the data from your computer would go from your computer to the wireless access point, and then to the switch, and then to the router, and then to your internet service provider, Telstra, Optus, right? And then it would go out into Melbourne, and then it goes up to Sydney, and then I'm pretty sure there's cable that goes out to LA in America, and then from there it would redirect to Google's internet service provider, and then into their data center, and then to their whatever server they've assigned to address your open www.google.com request, and they would send their website back, and it goes all the way back to LA, across to Sydney, Melbourne, to our ISP, to our router, to the switch, to the box in the ceiling, to our computer. So it goes a very long way, and usually it takes like fractions of a second, right? Less than half a second. You look at your ping in a game, like that's how long it's taking, right? Less than 100 milliseconds is good. So it's very fast, it's going a long way. That's why when you have a server and when you're playing games on an Australian server, it works a lot better because it's not going halfway around the world. Cool, so that's networks. All right, just a few quick questions here, basically about what we just discussed. So yeah, answer these questions in OneNote or email them through to me, whatever you prefer. Okay, so why do games use the internet? What is LAN? Give an example. List and describe the network hardware required. Okay, so network interface card, all that stuff, router, etc. List and describe security measures. Okay. Describe how data moves from one console to another. Okay. The DLC now makes more money than packaged game sales. And what does this mean? What do you think it means for the future of gaming? All right. Thanks for watching.